the senator rejecting an apology by the Ugandan general, who he labeled a likely successor to his father, and calling the apology inconsequential. The Ugandan chief of the defense forces questioned the relevance of the relations between the two countries, citing decade-long frustrations by bureaucrats at the US Embassy in Kampala, who he added are pushing the union between the two states to a cliff edge. Muhozi alleging that the US Embassy in Uganda, according to intelligence, helped stage the kidnapping of opposition leader Bobi Wine, and calling for the suspension of military relations. However, the general's lack of decorum online is not a new trait. Following the rejection of the January 15th presidential result by the opposition, Muhozi, an ever-present figure on social media where he taunts his opponents, boasted about the number of opposition supporters killed in the aftermath of the elections, labeling them political terrorists intent on destabilizing Uganda. In 2022, the general said it will take him only 2 weeks to capture Kenya, leading to an uproar on X, prompting an apology from his father, President Yoweri Museveni, who downplayed his son's comments. His outbursts on X now attracting the attention of Washington. His apology, a pointer to the first sign of some sort of awareness of his stature and the endless possibilities his online misadventure now portends. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
Uganda could be on the brink of new US sanctions following a series of controversial social media posts by the country's Chief of Defense Forces, Gen.Muhozi. The posts, which accused the US Embassy in Kampala of working with opposition leader Bobi Wine, have sparked outrage in Washington, raising questions about Uganda's future cooperation with the West. Though Muhozi deleted some of the posts and apologized, claiming he had been misinformed, US lawmakers, including Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Jim Risch, says the comments crossed a red line and now threaten to upend years of cooperation. NTV's Ashley Atieno has the details.
A series of explosive social media posts on X by Uganda's Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhozi Kainerugaba, have left him with an egg on his face and caused a diplomatic strife between Kampala and Washington, D.C. In those posts, the army chief accused the US Embassy in Kampala of colluding with opposition leader Bobi Wine, a claim that has now triggered a major diplomatic crisis and threatens Uganda's military cooperation, financial aid and overall relationship with the United States. Hours later, Muhozi deleted the posts and apologized, saying he had been fed with wrong information. He claimed to have spoken with the US ambassador and said military cooperation will continue as usual. But Washington says the apology is hollow and that the damage is already done. The controversy comes against the backdrop of Uganda's January 15th elections, which saw President Yoweri Museveni win a controversial 7th term amid widespread allegations of election fraud and violence. In one of his controversial posts on X, Muhozi wrote, "As for Kabobi, the permanent loser, I am giving him exactly 48 hours to surrender himself to the police. If he does not, we will treat him as an outlaw or rebel and handle him accordingly." He went further to say, "We have killed 22 new terrorists since last week. I am praying the 23rd is Kabobi." His inflammatory language, often expressed through social media posts, combined with his tight grip on the military, has left many questioning whether Uganda is headed toward a dynastic rule that could further alienate the country from the West.
The laws of this country prohibit serving military officers from engaging in partisan politics. And both before and after he became the commander of the military, he has been quite rampant, if I may put it that way, in expressing controversial political views.
Bobi Wine, now in hiding after the election, accused Muhozi of personally orchestrating violence against his supporters.
The East African community is watching, the African Union is watching when a presidential candidate is threatened and a chief of defense forces, a head of the military, issues instructions to murder citizens and nobody speaks a word. It is disturbing.
And with sanctions, reduced military cooperation and aid cuts now on the table, the implications of this crisis could be felt for years to come.
is very calm and quiet. He will listen and take notes from everybody. So he gives everybody a chance. But he's patient with everybody, and then he's able to listen to the different contending views and create a very good synthesis.
As Uganda stands at a crossroads, the international community will be watching closely. The future of US-Uganda relations and Uganda's political future now hang in the balance as Muhozi's path to power grows ever more uncertain. Ashley Atieno, NTV.
All right, welcome back, family. Before I go deeper, take a look at this. Thank you very much. And those are the tweets that General Muhozi Kainerugaba, the Chief Defense Force of Uganda, was trying to tweet online publicly, trying to assault or to threaten the opposition leader and trying to issue some strong warnings publicly, because all I know is that there are some things you don't have to expose online publicly, mostly when it comes to the life matters, life issues. You have not to, no matter who you are. But hate speech and threats are not allowed. But sometimes there are some people who feel like the country and the life belongs to them. There are some people who feel like our life is their choice. They have to make the choice on what to do with our life. That's what I believe. And that's why the Chief Defense Force of Uganda had to do this, what he did. And I believe that the military has their role to play in the community, in the country, in the society. But they are not allowed to interact with the politics. But I do believe that Muhozi is doing this because his father is the president. That's why he's able to do all this that he's doing, because he started to threaten the opposition side even before election. They caused more deaths of the opposition supporters. They jailed many youths who are going on the street to support the opposition side, because Bobi Wine is a youth, and the youths in the country of Uganda believes in him. He was getting much pressure, much support, and much force from the youth, because the youth believe that the only change they can get is through the youth, who has the vision, who has the good ambitions, who has the good interest and attention to the people in the country of Uganda, but not the one old man who has been there to the power for the longest time, who has taken over this country as his personal property. And now, after that, after the election, we have seen what has happened all that long time. This man trying to threaten the opposition leader, Bobi Wine, or Chagulanya, I don't know, which forced this man to flee his home, to exile. And now, he's just nowhere to be found. His family has been ambushed. His family has been threatened. They have did a lot to the family of this man. So the people of Uganda has no choice. They have nothing to do about it. And this general went on to go and threaten the government of America after they tried to question what is happening. So during this response, I don't know if this will be the end of Museveni and his family to this country of Uganda, or America. What plan do they have? Because we need to see actions, but not words. Because as Africans, we are not happy to see our neighbors, our brothers and sisters suffering in the hand of the one family because of the power. Power will come and go, but the history will remember you. The history will judge you according to what you're doing against your people. Against your people, what you're doing today will judge you one day. Now, after all this, General Muhozi went on to apologize to the government of America for all that he was trying to do. But now the apology has been declined because he was trying to even threaten the country of America. We know who Trump is. Trump can do anything. and he don't care what he do. He don't care what he does. He don't care. So today, American government is asking tough questions. Where is the opposition leader? Why are other people who are trying to support the opposition leaders who are killed? Some were jailed. Some were abducted and they have nowhere to be found. That's the question that the American government is asking. And that's the question, the same question that we are asking as Africans. What happened? What happened? Because the time of election is a period of everyone, is a period of the open playground, so that everyone can be able to make his or her own choice, so that the people can make the choice of who has to rule them. But in Africa, when the time of election comes, it's like now the time of war has come. It's like a matter of war, but not election. It's not all about competition, but a fight, but fighting, quarrel, killings, destruction, and everything. So no matter who you are, there are some things you don't have to expose directly to the public. And that is what the mess that Gen.Muhozi did. As we know, as Africans, we need action to be taken earlier and faster, because before that it's too late. Because when action will not be taken today, immediately after Museveni get out of the power, his son will take over, and the Uganda will suffer for the rest of their life. Because if this man can act today this way, and he's not the president, he's just the chief defense force, who can be taken out of that position anytime, then what if he becomes the president of this country? It's better you have Museveni today, but his son will be the worst nightmare of the country of Uganda, will be the worst problem in the country of Uganda. So it's the time that we pray that the action must be taken, and this family of Museveni to be taken out of power before it's too late, so that at least the people of this country can have something, can see the change, can see the difference in their country. I not have much to say about this. Hope that you're doing good, you're doing great by tuning this country, in this YouTube space. Keep on subscribing, share it, so I can continue creating space to discuss more about this. We're here watching if the change will come out. Be blessed.